morning. We are here, and it sure is morning. Hi, Ronnie. Glad to see you here. Ronnie gets the award for being the first to wake this morning. Jane, welcome back. Janice, hi from Massachusetts. And Cactus Deb is here from Glendale, Arizona. Linda, my friend, is here from New York. And Joyce from Mesa, Arizona. I'm sure it's warmer there than it is here. All of that snow that's been coming down, it finally hit us last night. Fortunately, it's not too much. So, for any of you that were here with me last night, you know that my baby, my big machine, was down at the machine doctor's. And yay, I get to pick it up today. I'm so excited. Really so excited. Patsy, hello from Oklahoma. And Kathy is here from Long Island. Welcome, Kathy. And good morning, Ronnie. Nan is here from Sweden where it's 3 p.m. Hello, Nan. It is so good to see you here. It's such an honor to have you drop by. I so appreciate it. So today, what we are going to look at is paisleys. I don't know how many of you remember the 60s. Everything was paisley. And guess what? We're still doing them. How many years later? I think it's like 60 years. And we have got a beautiful set of 4 templates. They are 1.5 inches, well, 1.5 inches over here, sorry, 2 inches here, 2.5 inches, and 3 inches. So we have a multitude of sizes, which is awesome. And Wanda's here from across town. Good morning, Wanda. It's good to see you. Linda, my Michigander friend, is here. Welcome. And Linda from the United Arab Emirates. The temps are starting to be delightful now over in the United Arab Emirates. Well, that is awesome. We're going to need to come visit you, Linda, because the temps are getting bad here. And happy holidays to you as well. So, what we notice on this particular set of templates is you have a whole plethora of designs stitched in, and I'm going to call it willy nilly. It's just all over the place as a fill, which is awesome. It looks good that way, but there's other things we can do with the templates as well. Now, here is a picture of the approximate sizes without a tail. However, we can quilt them with a tail as well. And to do that, instead of stopping on this horizontal line, we can come back up in and stop at this little bend in the template. Okay, I'm going to show you both of those. But we're not done there. Okay, we could do feathers with templates. We can do borders, or we could do feathers with paisleys. We could do borders with paisleys, and we could do edge to edge with paisleys. And that's what someone requested last night. So I definitely want to show you all of those things. Hi, Di. Good morning. Linda says, come anytime. Awesome. Awesome. Linda Hammond is here. Merry Christmas, everyone from Linda, and to you as well, Linda. Di likes the tails. We're gonna show you that. And Christina's here from Sweden. Good morning, Christina. Susie is here from Arlington, Virginia. And my dog is going crazy here. I hope she's not too much of an interruption. but the snow plows are out and she is hearing those big trucks go by and she gets nuts. She wants to be out there chasing the snow. We can't even let her out when Ken shovels. It's terrible. Okay, so let's start with what I consider the hardest thing to do first. And that's going to be, we're going to make a half circle of feathers. Okay, let me get that out of the way a little bit here. And what I've done was I have drawn out where I want my feathers to be. You may have seen this done before. I believe Kate Quinn did this. And this is the size feather I'm going to make. Now, this is a 2 inch, this is a 6 inch. So what I've got here is 2 inches from the inside circle to the outside circle. And I am going to use my 2 inch paisley. Okay, now to start this, I'm going to start it like I would any feather. Okay, we're going to stitch out and stitch back to the fullest point. So let's go ahead, get started. Let's hope I do this right. I'm going to go ahead and squish you in just a little bit. Betsy, good morning from Texas. So nice to see you. Now, my first one, I am going to come off of the edge a little bit. And that's how I would do a normal template or a normal feather. Okay? Enough. Go lay down. Okay. I'm going to double check. I want this to just meet that 6 inch line. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start at the center. Pull that thread up and out of the way. Going to put it down. Going to double check the camera here. Oh, Lisa's come in from Sugarland, Texas. Good morning, Lisa. Pat's here from Illinois, and Julia is here from the UK. Welcome, everyone. I hope you all have your coffee. I know I need my caffeine in the morning. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take that one stitch in place. I'm going to come down and around and I'm going to stitch back till I hit the high point on my template. I'm going to go ahead and cut these threads out because we just simply don't need them in our way. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing that I would do with the feather. I am going to move it up and I'm going to make sure that I've got some space here and that I don't come out over the line up on the top. So here we go. And remember, these are arcs. So what we want to do is we want to make these just a little bit shorter stitches. Get rid of stop right there. I came off a little bit here. I'm not concerned about that. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and I'm looking at approximately where I want to meet up here with the bottom of my template. Because if I have it poised too far vertically, I'm going to end up coming over, either hitting that first line stitching and coming over it. I don't want to. If I end up poised too far horizontally, you can see that I'm leaving a great big gap here. And I don't want to do that either. So there's a couple ways we can do this. And one is to go ahead and move the template over so that this part of the template just touches the first downward line. And that's what I'm going to do. Now I do need to bring it down a little bit up here because if I don't, I'm going to end up outside of that line and I don't want to do that. So here we go. Just going to make that small adjustment. Coming down. Isn't this a beautiful feather? And it's so easy, guys. It really is. And we're going to come back up. And we're going to stop here. And now we're going to twist that template again. Okay. And we're going to put another feather in. Now, I do like to be totally transparent. And so I'm going to tell you guys something. I have not done this design before. I have seen it done, but I have not practiced it. Okay? So this is how easy it is. If I haven't practiced it, I know you can do it, draw it out first, and then go forward from there. Pat, welcome. Good morning from Illinois. And Joey's here from Southern California. And we have Jacqueline here. Can I use this ruler on a sit down long arm? Jacqueline, you certainly can. And there's no better way to use these rulers. Our rulers come in 3 thicknesses. I use a low shank because my machine is a Singer 301. It's a vintage machine and it is actually a slant shank, but it uses the low shank templates. And then we have what's called high shank templates, which is likely what you will use on your sit down long arm. They're just a little thicker. We also have every template in long arm, which are a full 1/4 of an inch thick. So we've got everybody covered, okay? Add a little bit of caffeine, and we're going to go around again. Taking that 1 stitch in place, because you all know me by now. You know that I tend to do what's called a toe catcher, or 1 long stitch when I first start taking off. Okay, we're going to twist again, and it's working out beautiful. I am just lining up the template on the last line that I stitch. Bring it out this down. And we're going to come back up to that highest point again, making sure my needle is down. I don't have one of those fancy machines that tells me or tells the machine to put the needle down for me. Yeah. Almost done with this one. And we're going to come back up. Stop here. We're going to twist again. If Chubby Checker were here, he would tell us how to twist. I think he was the one that started that craze. Okay, stop again at the highest point. We're going to come down again. And I think we're only going to get 1 or 2 more left in here. Okay. And back up to that high point. And twist it. And this will be our last one. And look at that, guys. It fit perfectly. So here we have it, a round feather using our paisley template. What do you think? I love it. I think it turned out great. Christina, I love this. Christina says that she's in her happy place by the sewing machine. And I so agree with that, Christina. I know it's my happy place. Yeah, this is perfect. And you could go all the way around with this. And it would be perfect. I hope if you've got these that or yeah, you just ordered it. Please, definitely, you want to go ahead and get this. I love this design. So the next little thing I want to show you is I've set up a border here. So what I want to do is see just what exactly it is that we need to do to make this border. What I decided to do in making this border is I'm going to start at the center point and work out each way. And I want this, and this is again going to be like a feather, but I want this to come not all the way to the edge, because when we do borders, it's always a really, really good idea to at least have a little bit of empty space on the outside, even if we don't have it on the inside. And that's so it gives your eyes a place to rest. So I'm going to start here. I'll be going in that direction. Okay. And I'm starting right dab in the corner. Okay, we're going to go ahead and pull that out. Now, I could make a mark on here, and it would be a good thing to do. Wouldn't be the wrong thing to do. But I already have marks on here. Oh, this is 2.5 inches. I'm sorry. I should have told you that. And this template that I'm using is I think it is the 2.5 inch. I've got stable tape over the top of it. No, it's a 3 inch. So this is our biggest one. Okay. There we go. And I have to put another piece of stable tape on there. So what I've got is this mark and this mark are touching the edges of my border here. And I'm going to come up on this side, back down, and I'm going to stop here. Okay, so there is traveling. And I do have stable tape on both sides of these templates because these templates allow us the opportunity to flip them around really well. Okay, and I'll show you that in just a few minutes. Okay, we're going to go ahead and we're going to trim this thread away. There we go. Sometimes it's easier than others. I'm going to come down and stop at the bottom. And then I'm going to come back up to my, just below my high point, just below. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this. And what's going to happen when we turn this is we're going to discover that it now is a little too big to fit into our 2.5 inches. So I'm going to take this one off because that's the only time on this border we're going to use that size. And I'm going to put my next size on. And what you want to note on this is the lining up. I think I'll leave it in this direction. It'll be easier for you to see. even though this is not straight, because we want to make that little curve, this is again going to look like a feather. What we want to do is see these lines at the bottom. We want them both to be touching that 2.5-inch line. And there's my spacing gauge. Want to make sure that I'm not going outside of the perimeter of that border that I've drawn in. We're going to come up and around. Oh, and I got off of my template. See that? I do that occasionally, and that's because I was looking somewhere else. But it's okay because I need to come back up. And so what I'll do is I'll come back and pick those stitches out a little later, and they'll be just fine. So now, again, just like I did on the bottom one, I am going to make my inside, because I want this paisley to be curved, I'm going to go ahead and put the edge of the template just over the edge, the sewing line of the previous rotation. We're going to come down and back up, stopping at that furthest point out. And now I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to continue. I straighten this out just a little bit with each pass. Okay. And I did not straighten that last one out as far as I should have, so this one's going to be just a little bit further. And that's why we practice. Okay, and one more. And around we're going to go, and this will be the last one. And what you can see is you can do a feather border. That looks very nice. You can use this more on a horizontal or a vertical line than I did. Now to get to this side, remember what we want to do is we want, what we want is we want the end to end up here. And we want to come out a little bit further on the bottom. So what we can do is we can start here, come around, and this time come up to this side. Okay, do that again. We're going to start here, come around and down, and back up to this side, and then we're going to go in this direction. Okay, let me show you how I would do that. Okay, so I'm going to kind of place this first. Get my bobbin thread up. So important to do that because when we're working with quilts, what we're doing a lot of times is we have the backing on our block, which is called Quilt As You Go. And so we want the back of that quilt to look as pretty as the front. So there we go. Come down just a little bit more. So rather than our traveling being on the outside line, it's going to be on the inside line. There. And now we're going to go ahead and we're just going to continue on. And it's a pretty feather with a little different shape to it. Do one more, and there we go. And now this is going to go. And we'll go ahead and take that out. That turned out pretty, I think. I really like it. Would I use it on a project? I absolutely would. Nice and easy getting around that corner. Love it. Let's take a look at comments, see where we're at. Okay. Um, okay, Joey missed the name of the template. This is called Paisley 1 Joey. And it comes with the 4 different sizes. Okay, Priscilla asked a really important question, and I'm so glad you asked this. Yeah, it's very easy for us to turn these blocks. It really is. But the key, Priscilla, and I show this in a lot of my classes, the key is to be able to stitch the templates in all directions. And once you're able to do that, you definitely do not have to turn the quilt to get things lined up. And I'm trying to think, I don't remember off the top of my head which class it is, but I do have a few little videos out there somewhere on how to go ahead and stitch in all directions. Okay. And we're going to show that with the edge to edge design as well. All right. Priscilla, Jane says she turns her quilt every which way as she works on it. And the largest she's done is a queen. That's awesome, Jane. I think that's absolutely fantastic. Jean said that she may use this on a quilt she's currently working on. Cool beans. All righty. So what I'm going to do next is I just want to go ahead and stitch these out so you get an idea as to the size of them. And I did not snip my bobbin thread. There we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to mark a straight line here. Okay, and then we're going to line them all up. And I will show you. There we go. Take a quick drink of caffeine. That's always necessary, isn't it? Okay. And here we go. Linda. Linda said, okay, Betsy says, to sew the picture that's on the pamphlet, do you have to? Yes, Betsy, you have to do each paisley separately. Okay. Oh, Iron Stitches is interested in the machine I'm working on. Absolutely, darling. It is a Singer 301. It is a vintage machine from the 50s. My husband purchased it, asked me if I wanted to try it for ruler work, and I did. And he had to go buy a new machine. It is the best machine for ruler work ever. Okay, and Di says stitching in all directions is easier for her with some templates than others. And I agree, Di. There's some templates that it's a little bit on. Yeah. Iron stitches. Oh, okay. I just showed you the machine. And Jane says she has a couple of quilts waiting in the wings to work on, and this would be beautiful. But first, she has a couple baby quilts to finish. You know what, Jane? Actually, finish doing the baby quilts is a great practice for doing a larger quilt. So don't be afraid. And good morning, Valerie. So good to see you. Sandy made it here from Florida. Welcome. Pat is here. What did she say? What was the size of the second template I used? That was a 2.5 inch. I used the 3 inch on the corner and the 2.5 inch next to it. So that's how I did this right here. Okay, so I've got 3 templates. Where did my fourth one go? All right, who stole it? There it is. Okay, so what I want to do here is I want to just stitch each one out using this horizontal line as the bottom. And we're just going to stitch, well, let's stitch them with the tail. Di likes them with the tail better. So that's what we're going to do. And I'm going to flip this around and adjust so you can see better. Okay, so to stitch with the tail, if you remember what I showed you a little bit ago, you would start and end in this little hook spot. Okay, and I am going to, just so that I line them all up the same, I'm lining this up on the horizontal uh, on a horizontal line here. Okay. And up we go. There. Okay. I'm not worried if it's exactly straight up and down because my horizontal line will keep me going straight up and down. Okay, off we go. This is a really, really nice curve. It's not difficult. This is a curve that would be extremely easy for a beginner. And here we go. And we're going to end right on that horizontal line. Absolutely perfect. So there is our first one. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to free motion over here a little way on that horizontal line. And that was our 3 inch. So the next one will be our 2.5 inch. And I need to go down to get the little tail on here. So there we go. And now I'll come back and do the entire template. Oh, guys, look what I did. I kind of got this over the other one, but you know what? It's okay. It's going to really help us see the differences in sizes. Okay, we'll pretend I did that on purpose, all right? And don't tell. Okay, so there is our 2.5 inch. And we're going to go ahead and come over here. And I will put on the 2 inch. We're going to keep it going in the same direction. And we're going to make that tail first. Coming back. I'm going to speed up my machine. And the reason I'm doing that is I want smaller stitches because anytime we're stitching a curve or an arc or a circle of any kind, it's going to give the overall appearance of having a smoother line to it. And we're going to come over here. That was our 2 inch. And this is going to be our 1.5 inch. We'll put it in like this again. Let's see. Well, Butterfingers. I am lining up this line on the horizontal line that I drew so that we can see the different sizes. And with the tail, I need to come out and stop right at this point. And it's going to be this point right here. Okay, so we go down and open that up. And all the way around, and I am speeding up my machine to get faster stitches, or smaller stitches, I'm sorry. The faster that you go and moving your fabric at the same rate, same speed, the faster you go, the smaller your stitches will be. The slower you go, the longer your stitches will be. So there is our 4 sizes. Okay, that actually kind of looks cool just like that, doesn't it? Okay, let's see this. Okay, Pat, the first one, this one was the 2.5 inch, I believe, and these are the 2 inch. Yep, this is the 2.5, or is it the 3? No, it is the 3 inch. This is the 3 inch, and these are 2.5 inch. I'm going to write that in there. So this is a 3 inch, and this is 2.5. And there we go. Okay, 3 inch and 2.5 inch. Okay, so this is some of the fun stuff that we can use our templates for, but by a request, I am going to show you how we can do an overall design with these templates by adding in our edge-to-edge template set. And this set, I believe, is on sale right now. Good morning, Carla. Good to see you. Glad you could make it. Valerie says she needs to clean and service her mom's old Singer and use it for this type of work. And you know what, Valerie, you're absolutely right. It's the best. It is the best. Okay, here we go. I got just a big old piece of fabric here, and we're just going to play, okay? I'm going to take out my edge-to-edge templates. You know, the one thing I haven't tried with these, and I do with almost every template, so we're just going to set this aside for a minute here. And I'm going to take this size. And I don't know why I feel the need to do this, but it is something that I kind of like to see how it works out. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a crosshair here. I'm using my Starry Night 16 point crosshair ruler, but I'm not going to make 16 rotations on this. I'm going to come in here, and this is, I always do my centers this way. Okay. Everybody has their way of doing things. And you know what? Whatever way is the most comfortable for you or works best for you is the way you should do it. Pure and simple. It's not necessary for us all. We're not drones. We don't need to all march along like some toy tin soldiers here. We can do things in the manner that makes us comfortable and that works best for us. It's kind of like learning. I truly believe there are many different ways to learn. Okay? So, what I always like to do is look to see if this can be a rotational design. So, what I'm going to do, actually, let's see, I've got some lines on this one. So, what I'm going to do is I just made an arbitrary line on here. Oh, Deb, I love it. No quilt police allowed. You're absolutely right. Unless, of course, it's Tom Selleck guarding my fabric stash. Oh, okay. Jane was a little bit late, which is absolutely no problem. And Pacola's here from Gallup, New Mexico. It was 22 degrees there this morning. Oh, Pacola, that is tough. That is tough. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start in my center. I am going to pull my fabric up and I am going to use my horizontal crosshair and I'm going to make a rotation. And around we go. Remember, don't push the template against the foot. And don't push the foot against the template. It's probably the biggest factor that I see with beginning quilters. Lining that horizontal line up again. Here we go. And we're going to make a second rotation. I have a feeling this is going to turn out really nice. Okay, let's do a third one. Again, lining up that horizontal line. We're going to go. And we can cut that center thread out at any time because we're doing it in a spin effects type stitch out. Those center stitches will be locked in very well. Okay, there we go. Now, what I'm going to do, because I want Valerie to see this, there we go. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to clip those threads out. Okay. If I'm working on a large quilt, I'm not moving it. But what I am doing is I am moving my template and my direction. So here we go. Remember to let that template just graze the side of the foot. Let me make sure my needle's down. Now, I'm not using anything up here to line up. I'm using this horizontal line at the bottom to line up. Round we're going to go. We only have a couple left. And one more stitch. There we go. And so what you can see here is I'm just literally stitching in every direction. And I'm working on a quilt right now for my grandson, and it's quite large. And this is exactly how I am quilting it. Not with this particular template, but rather than turning the quilt, I'm turning the template each time and stitching in that direction. It makes it so much easier than trying to maneuver that quilt around, because it is sizable. And I'm doing it on this machine, which has a 7-inch throat. Some of the templates are actually too large. They hit the throat, so then I have to maneuver them a little bit. Okay, so what have we got now? We have got a Spinifex with a paisley. Pretty darn cool. I wasn't sure how that was going to turn out. Oh, and good morning and welcome. Christmas is coming, and this is the Paisley One template set. Okay, so study.com, you look under templates and you will find them. Linda, you're always ahead of me. I'm jealous. But isn't that pretty? It really is. It's just a beautiful design. Okay, so now let's get back to an all over design using paisleys. All right. It doesn't matter where I start here. I'm going to use all of the sizes, all 4 of them. And as requested, here is my edge to edge connectors that we will use those as well. Okay, so this one, you guys, I'm doing it by the seat of my pants, so this is a good thing. Okay, I'm just going to start with a small one. And what I'm going to do is I am going to make the tail. Okay, so I'm coming up here. Now, I want you to realize it doesn't really matter where you start on the paisley. What's going to matter is where you're going to end up. And this is where we want to end up. So I'm just going to do one simple rotation. Take my first stitch in place. Come around. All the way. And now I'm going to first cut off that thread. I do not bury threads for practice pieces, okay? It's, to me, if it's a practice piece, it's not going anywhere. And I don't want to waste my time. I want to stitch. That's more important to me. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue going in this direction, just like this. And coming down. Now, I do believe I can come in here And this isn't exactly a circle, it's more of a football shape. That's okay. And I'm going to stop right here. Now I'm going to put in a big paisley. Want it to take up lots of space, lots and lots of real estate here. Round we go, remembering to keep our stitches a little bit on the smaller side, not to be pushing on anything. We don't push, we don't pull, we guide. And we're going to stop here. Okay, just kind of cute how that comes about. So now I'm going to take, oh, there it is. I was going to say, where'd my other one go? I'm going to keep on going out. But I am going to turn here eventually. And keep on going. And I'm not going to go very far on this. And then I'm going to turn it. And you can see how beautiful it turns. You barely can tell where this turns. I goofed on it a little bit. I think I could have done better on it. Okay, but that's the problem when you're doing something live. It doesn't always turn out the way you're hoping, but that's okay. I'm not going to put a tail on this one. I'm just going to bring it in and around, back out. There we go. Now I'm just going to keep going. And I want this one. I think what I'm going to do is come and start bringing it in a different direction now. And there we go. Come here. I'm going to use a little bigger one this time. And I think what I'm going to do is flip it around. And yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and go on with the tail. Going to come out and stop at that horizontal line. Okay, I know I have a tail on there, but now what I want to do is I want to come in and fill this area here. Okay, I'm going to move this back a little bit, and I want to fill that up right there. So I don't really need a long way to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this little guy, and I'm just going to go a little way with him, not very far. And which way do I want this to go? I think I want it to go this way. And I'm not going to go ahead and I'm not going to take the tail this time. I just want to fill in this spot. Longer than so. Definitely a great template for beginners. Now we're going to come off in this area. And I think what I'm going to do, yeah, I am. I'm going to come off and I'm going to make a loop with the stop, flip, and rotate. Okay, so here we go. There's my stop. There's my flip. And here's my rotate. I can rotate it anywhere that I want. And I want it to come here, about halfway between this. Yeah, there we go. But I'm not going to come too far out. Okay? And this one I want to put our biggest one in because we've got some small ones there, but it's time for a larger one. And I am going to go ahead and use the tail on this one. Oops. There we go. All the way around. And we're going to stop right there. I did not stitch up the tail. Okay. I just stopped. But I've got a little bump here. I don't think I like that little bump right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and put in this. There it is. Is this one smaller? No, this is our smallest one. So I'm going to come back, and I used this template to do it. And I just have to get it lined up right. It's only going to take me a couple tries, okay? And we're going to come around. Okay. Now I'm going to take a small one, my smallest one, and I'm just going to fill in this spot. But I'm going to do something a little different here. Come around. Close my paisley and come back out. Right there. Okay? Now I'm going to have my line come away from there. And granted, it's not at the top of the paisley and it's not at the bottom, but it doesn't matter. We can come out anywhere we want. Okay? So let me get this little guy out. I'm going to go, I think I'm going to just use the edge here, okay? Because that's going to give me a nice curve down where I want to go next. There we go. And I'm going to use a medium size. And I'm going to have this go backwards, okay? They can go in any direction we want them to. That's what's so fun about these. Whoops, I just slipped my template. That's it. Going to go around, not pushing and not pulling. We're letting our template guide the ruler foot, except where I got off right there. And coming back to the beginning of that. And see, I kind of got a little wonky there. But you know what? Wonky is okay. I'm not going to worry about that. Okay? If this was a real quilt, I may have a pattern on here of flowers or something, in which case those would never show. But if I need to tear it out, I can always come back and take it out later. Okay. So this is just a little fill that you can do with the paisleys and your edge to edge connectors. It looks nice. It's just oh, Debbie said audio. Yeah, you know what? This headset is told me that it was fully charged this morning. Okay. Uh, you get used to iron stitches. Can't imagine having to sew and record a tutorial at the same time. Yeah, it kind of gets it gets a little tough sometimes. Okay, I'm gonna try something here, guys, to hopefully um, clear up this audio. Okay, can you hear me on this one better? I'm going, okay. I just switched audio plans here. So we'll get rid of this one. Okay, how's that? That's better. Okay, okay, sounds good. Okay, I just want to make sure that everybody can hear. That's the important part. Oh, you're welcome, Linda. So good to have you here. And you have a great day too, my friend. Okay. So anyway, somebody in here said using 2 or 3 of these at a time in here. Brilliant idea. Brilliant idea. Who said that? So, okay, Deanna said she thinks she would do 2 or 3 petals, then move with connectors. And I think that's absolutely brilliant, Deanna. And that will be the way I use them when I'm not just practicing. Okay. You know, I get so many, I get a lot of really great ideas from you guys too. It really is. It's wonderful. So now let's take a look here at this one and let's take a look at what Deanna said and what might really be kind of cool. Okay, so this is the same size. So I could turn this over and use the same size. And this is, I think, a 2 inch. Or I could come over and use a smaller one and put it next to this too, which I think would be even cute in that way. So let's go ahead and there we go. Pull that thread up, put my foot down and my needle down, put everything together here. And here we go. Yeah, that looks 100 times better. Isn't that cute? I love it. You know, we could even make them cross one over the other. And let me show you what I mean there. Okay, here we've got one going this way, and that's going to be our smallest one. But let's go ahead and put one this way and see how that looks. You guys give me so many good ideas, I'm telling you. Okay, there we go. Now we're going to put this one in the opposite way. Again, it's just a little bigger. And I'm going to have it come. I wanted to turn around so you can see it. Ruth Ellen said she has to get quilting. No more playtime for today. You have a great and productive day, Ruth Ellen. Thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate seeing you here. Okay, so here we're going to come in, and this bigger one is going to almost swallow up the smaller one. I'm not sure I'm going to like this all that much better. But you know what? It does make an interesting shape, doesn't it? And what we could do too is I'll show you one more thing. While I'm thinking of it. Okay, so here we came out with this, and that's our biggest one. So I'm going to put the biggest one on this way, right there, and pull that thread up. There we go. And come just like this. We're going to just cross over ever so slightly. Now, if you live in the UP, this looks like a deer track, just so you're aware. Okay, look at that. Isn't that adorable? And we could even put a couple small ones out here as well. So those are some, and I really like the way this helps fill up this space in here. They do look awesome. So today we learned a lot that we can do with our paisleys. We learned we can do an 8-point rotation and it looks like a cool flower. We learned that we can use it for a border. And look at this, the arc window. I love it. You could flip it over and give it a shadow. Absolutely, Pat. That would be a great thing to do too. Well, gals, it looks like our time is spent. I want to just let each and every one of you know how much I appreciate you coming in. I love seeing you. I love hearing from you. I love your ideas. I think they're absolutely great. And if there is no, oh, thank you, Linda. You stay warm down there too. Deb, you're welcome. It's a floppy flower. I love it, Betsy. Lois, you are welcome. And thank you for coming in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. You will have at 906 Quilting's YouTube channel, you may see some additional video that is done kind of independent of, but it's with templates. And don't forget, like, subscribe, and share. You can get a hold of me anytime you need. Go to subsidiary.com under the education tab, instructors. I am there. Today, there is going to be a program starting at 10 a.m. Pacific time, 11 a.m. Mountain time, and 12 noon Central time, 1 p.m. Eastern time, with ideas for Christmas. We're going to get you in the Christmas spirit here. And on the 13th, we will be having another program, and it will announce a lot of things. I know there's a whole bunch going on there. So enjoy your day, and until we see each other again, let's quilt.